Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
From home, honey.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am going on a highway adventure today with my son, Jason. Hello. The two of us are going to go and we're chasing down an elusive arcade game. Now, I've been building up sort of like a, you know, there's pinball machines and I've got a flying helicopter game and all kinds of cool stuff. I want to have like a little arcade area in the back of my store. But the one thing I don't have is a arcade style video game. Now, I have heard rumor that there's one in a barn 2.5 hours outside of town. And I hear that it might be the original 1990s Simpsons arcade game, which is essentially like a Street Fighter action punching kind of game, but with Simpsons characters. We're going to head out there and see. I don't know what kind of condition it's going to be in. I don't know if it is in fact that model and not a newer replica of it, because they have re-released it over the years. But it's worth the trip. I think to add to the arcade, this will be just the right touch. So you ready for a highway trip? Yeah. Okay, let's go. An arcade game like that is not going to fit in the Volvo. I need something a little bigger. And there's already a Jason waiting for me. What'd you bring to do on the trip?
I brought a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, but you didn't just bring one. You brought, look at this crazy thing. So are you going to solve this by the time we get there?
Yes, I am.
How long is this going to take you?
10 minutes.
Okay.
Or maybe 30.
Well, that's a big difference, but I guess we'll see. And I see you found the creature from the Black Lagoon. That's a leftover from when I bought that monster stuff, which is up for auction. Where was that, on the seat?
Yeah, it was just on the seat.
Oh, it was on the seat down here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, make sure I'm not sitting on the rest of them, and we'll head out. I'm officially somewhere that I've never been before, the town of Lac La Biche, Alberta. It is about 2.5 hours outside of Edmonton. I've just never had a reason to go here. Last time I was this far out in this direction was when I went to the town of Hilo, Alberta for the episode where I got all the wooden shelves for our general store, or many of the shelves from our store. I don't think there's much for antique shops or things in town, but hopefully there's at least one arcade game waiting for us. We'll see. It's funny, I just got a shade for one of these things, a torchère, the other day without the lamp. Yes. And you got all the lamps here. I have like 4 of them sitting there. This is it. That's the 1991 Konami Simpsons arcade game, but it's not currently working, you said. And the stickers on the side are kind of in rough shape, but this, what we basically drove all the way out here for, was that thing right there. But I see you've got lots of other stuff too, like a ton of tools. And I like the little, the brass tube fitting case. That's kind of a fun thing. So if there's things of interest, can I just kind of poke around and ask you about it? Okay, well, I guess we'll do a little searching. This looks like was it in a barn for a while?
No, this one, I don't know where it was, and I don't know where it came from. My late husband brought it home, and my son wanted to keep it to get it refurbished.
So it just showed up one day.
And it's been here. Oh,
peeking underneath the counter here, I can see there's some old mantle clocks. Really tough shape, sadly. And they said, hey, Jason, look at this. They just went to move that and it all fell apart. Once the glue and everything gives out, this old furniture like that. This was a kitchen cabinet with the metal top. Definitely wouldn't support the metal top now. There's some barrel back trunks. It's kind of an interesting locking mechanism on it. I haven't seen one quite like that before, but nice with the art on it. Old bits of furniture. Not sure. This maybe was from a hall stand. Bits and pieces from a hall stand. That's probably not terribly old. You can see it's got a sticker still on it and modern screws. But I think everything that we're going to find in here is going to be more or less a project. This looks like a little side table, press back chair. This is kind of neat. Who built the little farmhouse here? Was that your husband?
Yes, he built it, and you know what it is actually?
What?
It's a replica of our house.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
In dollhouse size. Wow, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
With shingles and the whole works. So I see you've got a couple more old radios sitting here.
And there's more radios in another building too.
Okay. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll start putting some stuff together in a group, and then we can chat about the things that are of interest. This is more than your average playhouse built back here in the trees. This is like a proper little home. Okay, Jason, you got to be the first to go in.
Careful about these. That's all.
Oh yeah, just maybe open the door and then look around and see if there's any wasps in there. You see anything? Any tiny little people?
We have built one up in the eave. You'll see it under your head. It's gone now.
Oh, you got rid of it? Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, that was a big one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gone now though. You're okay. Okay, I'm going to follow you. Now, can you go up from in here? I guess yes. There's a little staircase.
Yep.
I see. And the reason why we're in this little playhouse is because there are little odds and ends and toys and stuff in here too. So we've got to poke around. But this isn't just a playhouse. It's like a proper little house. It's got lighting. Okay, I'm coming up the tiny stairs. How is it up there, Jason?
It's standable.
You can stand up here?
Yeah.
Okay, these stairs are built for kids, so they're like half the depth of a normal one. Okay. Little guitar, bunk bed.
A little room.
Could you imagine having this when you were a kid? How cool this would have been?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I say when you were a kid. You're still a kid. You still can't. Look at this tiny little desk. There's a tiny little roll top desk, a kid-size roll top. Isn't that cute? But I don't see much for stuff that we could resell. But what a fun little playhouse. Swanky playhouse. Okay, I'm going to go back down the stairs. Jason, when you come down these steps, just be careful because they're really steep, okay?
Okay.
Here is the sandbox. And it has what you'd expect to see in it. Tonka trucks and toys and some cars. They've definitely seen some better days. I think because of the condition, we'll probably leave them, unfortunately. But yeah, they're... Here we're keeping our eyes open because there's a ton of hornets. And I recently had a stinging incident. But you've got other types of bugs. Do you know what year this is? It looks like it was sandblasted at one point. It was going to be restored. You know oh, I was going to say the pans aren't bad. There are no pans. They're terrible. There are no floor pans. It probably would have been wherever the bottom of this car is. It's probably over there. Oh, it's around the corner.
Okay.
So it was a cute little yellow bug at one time. Oh yeah, here's the chassis for it. And there's the floor pans there. Poor old thing. It's probably maybe late 60s, early 70s, something like that. They look so similar, it's hard to tell, but I mean, you can kind of see it's got the older style radio that would have been in there. So yeah, it's seen better days, this bug. But if somebody's looking for parts or doors or bumpers, it'd be, you know, a little mother load of parts right there. I'm looking at this Volkswagen and I see that somebody's made a makeshift trailer for it to sit on. And those almost look like they're, I want to say like 1930s, maybe like, I don't know what that would have been. It looks European. Crazy old wheels on this thing. Somebody took the axle off of like an old Austin or Morris or something weird. Some old English car died to make this trailer. Well, you've done a good job clearing the barn. You said the only thing left in here is cats. There's a bassinet. Oddly, a Macintosh LC580 computer from the probably early 1990s. Those are getting to be collectible on their own almost, but yeah, I don't see too much. This is, you never know where there's going to be an old sign up in the rafters or something, but I think they've just got the old real estate sign. Okay, let's head back outside.
but go ahead.
Okay, we have,
There's
that's a, that looks like a motorcycle engine right there.
You probably know what everything is, and I don't.
Well, you sometimes take your guess. It could have been out of a sled, maybe, the way it's mounted on the bottom. It's probably, these might be out of Skidoos. And I saw you had a couple old Skidoos, Fisher Price cash register.
You name it.
You name it, yeah. It's where I hope to walk into a barn like this one day and find like an old motorcycle at the back. That's actually not a terribly old snowmobile.
No, that one's his latest one, and it will be for sale.
And I see there is a typewriter. That's a Royal typewriter.
That's the one.
That's the one, okay. And hubcaps. I need to find some Plymouth hubcaps. I bought an old 1960 Plymouth and it's missing its hubcaps. Oh, I see. It goes all the way around the corner.
Yeah.
More Volkswagen parts.
Yep.
Oh, I see. And a couple big old stoves.
Yeah.
These can be pretty valuable when they're fixed up too.
I know, and that was the intent, like I said, but never happened.
What the heck is this? This is a pretty industrial stove you've got going on back here. Patent pending. Furnaces and stoves. It's got this big giant ornate piece on the side. This would have been in a pretty fancy house at one time. That's a big one. Like that's almost like a hotel size stove or something going on there. That's really industrial with the big legs and all the warming ovens and the grill kind of on the side, your burners on the side, all these nice nickel plated pieces. Done up, that would be a fantastic looking piece. There's parts of old sleds. Looks like an old sign or something up there. I'm gonna have to crawl over if I can and have a look. This is the
I know it's hard to get at that stuff. There's an old cupboard of some sort back there too.
I see that, yeah. One random ski, there's your steering wheel column. Actually, that Volkswagen, if that's a steering wheel out of the Volkswagen, that's probably a 1960s bug. But lots of, you know, good hoods and trunk lids. I'm gonna climb my way over and see what this little white and blue thing is here without stirring up a hornet's nest, hopefully. Lots of stoves. And what is this? What is this? I thought it was a sign, but I think these are panes for possibly like a window, like inserts for a house window. Not as exciting as what I thought. There's some old hutches and dressers back there. You know, again, but hauling that stuff out right now might not be a possibility. All these Volkswagen parts are kind of neat though. If I had a Volkswagen I was working on, I'd scoop all this stuff up. There's an accessory tow light. I think that's what that is when you're transporting a vehicle. Okay. Bicycles. Yeah, this slide is not that. This Skidoo's fairly recent. 2017 was last insured. Part of an old desk. Well, there's stuff everywhere, but I have to stay focused on why we're here. A lot of parts. Okay, so there was a Lada here at one point. Well, Volkswagen hubcaps, rear view mirror, more Volkswagen hubcaps. Well, there's a set of 4. Okay, I might have to bring those back with me because heck, you know, that's a pretty easy to sell sort of item right there. I'll ask if these are for sale. Okay, I'm going to tread lightly here. There's another car back here. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that it's a Volkswagen too. I mean, not a Volkswagen Model 2, but yeah, it's another Volkswagen Bug. You can never tell unless you get a little bit closer because it could have been a, it almost looked like a BMW Isetta from back there. I thought I'd better come investigate. There's something else back in the bush. You guys see that? That orange piece of equipment, maybe a really old snowmobile. But wasps are terrible this time of year, and I certainly don't want to get stung again. So I probably won't climb back there to see what that is. Maybe I'll ask and see if she knows. But there's at least a couple of dead bugs in the trees. Oh yeah, there we go. There's a big nest right there. That's why you gotta be careful walking inside of these buildings. You guys see it right there? You gotta be careful. Looks like a screaming mummy face, which is what my face would look like if I got stung again. Okay, I'm gonna see if there's anything in the visitation trailer.
Most of the stuff is our storage.
Right, okay.
Christmas stuff and
some chairs.
school stuff.
Well, there's an ice chest back here. Oh, some old radios again.
Yeah, this is where
More old radios.
are.
Oh, nice barrister's bookcase. I can always use those. So if there's some things back here that I'm interested in, can a person drive back in this area to, or do I have to get a little cart and move stuff?
Oh, you can drive in here.
Okay, it's Pepsi crates, and somebody's reupholstered that chair at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So far, everything kind of needs to be fixed up. So we're gonna have to factor that in when we make an offer. The Simpsons game is pretty collectible, but it's currently not functioning. And I don't know how bad it's gonna be on the inside. It might not be salvageable, I don't know. There's neat old radios and stuff, but again, nothing really looks like it works. So we'll have to be careful what we pay for things today to make sure that this trip is worthwhile. But we're gonna grab a couple things, put it out here next to Jason like the hubcaps are, and hopefully be able to make an offer on him. Like this radio, I was like, wow, this radio is really cool. But you know, you look at it and you go, okay, well the speaker is warped. Maybe that's fixable. But you get to the top is completely rotted. There's probably very little hope for this thing being salvaged and turned back into a functioning radio. And you know what? The radio market, the value for wooden radios like this has really come down. And even though that's a nice old Spartan radio, I just don't know if it's worth saving and bringing back, which is a shame. I love old radios. I hate to leave them behind, but you can't haul back stuff. You can't sell at your store. It doesn't make any sense. So we are going to dig around back in the garage that we started at and see. She's checking with her daughter to see if they want to sell the barrister's bookcase, which is probably one of the better pieces of furniture that I've seen here so far. Look, you know what these handles are, Jason? See those handles? Those didn't start off life as handles. Those are insulators for wrapping wire around, like on a telephone pole, or for inside a house, knob and tube. Actually, that's inside a house. That's knob and tube wiring, I think. Weird that, you know, they upcycled. That looks like a portable, that looks like some sort of chiropractor's table or something that's part where you'd lie on there and there'd be extensions for your feet. Okay, we're gonna have to, let's see if we can get this wheeled out for starters, because that's the thing we came here for. Let's see if we can wheel this out. We're moving this, this is basically like a strong box, like a, you know, like a fortified box for important stuff. We're moving this out of the way, and it's full of paperwork. Somebody had an auction, 1943. Terms of sale, cash. It's always kind of fun digging through these old boxes like this. Yeah, a lot of auction flyers and notices. A receipt from 1936 with a 3-cent stamp on it. A receipt for $20. There's a whole bunch of receipts in here. Sometimes the stamps can be collectible. This is a box of somebody's old paperwork from the 30s and 40s. Close that back up for now. I did want to pick up this old Papco General Store display, H. Pollen and Company Limited. It's brass tube fittings, and there's still a lot of great nuts and bolts and stuff in here. Frankly, I like to have old nuts and bolts and screws kicking around because if you're repairing old furniture and you need to have the right type of screw, they're oftentimes missing. So I will grab this and set this aside. There might be some other tool. I mean, there's a lot of tools. I don't know what else I need, but if there's antique tools or something of interest, maybe we can make a deal on that too. Looking at the walls, see an old duck decoy up there. See it? Might go have a look at that. And look, there's the engine out of the Volkswagen. At least they kept that drying indoors, because the rest of the car did not survive as well. being outside like that. Let's get over to the chainsaw department. And actually vintage chainsaw, these aren't old enough, but had they been vintage chainsaws from the 50s or even before, they can be pretty collectible too. Let's see, is this an old decoy? Well, it's wooden. That's a good start. Sometimes they're signed, this one's not. We'll put that in the pile, Jason. Can you go put that with our assortment? Lots of every kind of nut, bolt, and tool you could possibly imagine. I'm surprised and kind of shocked that there's not a whole pile of vintage oil cans. This seems like just the sort of garage where there'd be that sort of thing. And I'm not finding them. What's in the drawer? An iron. I already have enough irons in the fire right now. Baseballs, pencil sharpeners, but oh, there's a couple BB guns. And these are, yeah, those are Crossman BB guns. Don't accidentally pick up a loaded rifle. You never know on a farm, right? But a BB gun, kind of fun. Hey Jason, do you notice anything weird about their bench?
It's a car bench.
Well, yeah, it's made out of the tailgate of a truck. I've seen people do this before. I think essentially he just built a wooden frame and then took the skin off of a tailgate. Don't think he took the whole tailgate, just the skin off it, and made a little bench out of it. It's creative. I don't know how comfy that would be with that little bump sticking out, but it's recycling. I was a little bit worried after coming all this way that we wouldn't be able to strike a deal, but guess what? We did. So I've got a Simpsons arcade game that needs who knows what. Don't touch this part, it's filthy. Yeah. He keeps brushing past the dirtiest part of the machine. But we got some old BB guns, really cool early. This is one of the first sort of rotary telephones, got that. Hubcaps for one of the Beatles out there. And I did get the Barrister's bookcase. So now we just have to load everything up in the back of the car. That's why we brought the big guns today, because that would never fit inside the Volvo. So we're gonna wheel this over, load it up, and then drive on down and get the bookcase. A good rule of thumb when you're moving big stuff is load your big items first. Pack all your small stuff around it. Pretty much everybody knows that, but sometimes you forget and you get everything loaded in. There's no room for the stuff we came for. The other thing is, don't leave a property any worse than it was when you got there. So all the case and everything that we took out, we put back neatly back in the garage. We don't want to make this lady's life any more difficult. Yeah, the bucket's got to go in. So always try and leave a place as good or better than you found it. Now, to drive up the hill and get the bookcase. Back inside. Lots of little outbuildings, but... Okay, so we bought one of these radios. Bought the one in the middle because it's in the best shape. It's not the most ornate, but it is the most complete. So we're gonna see if we can get that out of there. You want to steady those pictures? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, that can go in the car. Careful, careful. Thank you, kiddo.
I'll let you take the bookshelf.
He's gonna leave the bookshelf for me. Little does he know, it comes apart. So actually, it won't be all that bad. I mean, there's a gramophone there. Normally, I'd be all interested in that kind of stuff, but you know what? Haven't sold that great lately. Okay. Is that the lower piece? I want to make sure I get everything for it. Well, time to start taking sections off. Well, that was a tight fit. Where are we going to fit the 15 anvils we bought? Well, I can feel the weight of that arcade game in the back of the vehicle, the poor old ambulance. But it's built like a heavy-duty truck, so it actually carries weight just fine. Thank you to Mary in Lac La Biche for passing along this lead to us. She watches our channel, and we met your friend. She was lovely. We loaded up a bunch of stuff, and now we're gonna go visit your fair town and see if there's any cool little collectible shops or things to do all the way home. So I guess we'll make a couple more stops with the boy before it's time to head back. It's noon, Jason. You know what that means? It's lunchtime for Jason. Lunch. I spotted out my window before we stopped for lunch Mystic Thrift, furniture, toys, books. Who knows what they have? We're gonna go find out.
Probably.
With a name like Mystic Thrift, I wonder if they know we're coming.
Disappeared to the clothing line.
Jason has disappeared. It's less mystic and more thrift. But you never know when there's gonna be some special little oddity hanging around, but I don't see anything today. So I think we're gonna go find some food before the day gets away from us. Who knew we were so close, Jason? Wow, I wonder if they speak Italian. I should take Melissa there. I should tell her we're going on a big Venetian holiday. And then go there. Pretty sure it's the same experience. Stop for gas, which is good because I was getting awfully low. And I noticed the sign, which was kind of curious. It looks like they sell fish bait fireworks. I was disappointed with this gas station. You know why, Jason?
What the fuck? Oh, there was
no fish bait filled fireworks. Can you imagine you set it up in the air and a bunch of worms go flying out? That's my next invention. Fish bait fireworks.
3.
We're at the shop now, thankfully, and we've been trying to make room for this giant machine, this arcade machine. It's much bigger than I thought it was, and the back room is getting so full with the helicopter game and all the pinball machines. It's gonna be quite a bit of work. But I walk in the door and I've got friendly faces waiting for me, and we have somebody in who's from Barrie, Ontario. You have come an awfully long way.
About 3,500 kilometers, I think it is so far on the vehicle.
Okay, you drove, you didn't fly?
No, we're driving through. We're passing through, going to northern BC.
Okay, and are you looking for treasures along the way and see if you can find some cool stuff?
Maybe.
Maybe.
If I come across the right spots, I'll come in and have a look and see what's going on. But we haven't had time yet. We've been on a mission to get through. So. But
you and your wife over there, I see you're both wearing plaid today. It's like the couples that start to dress alike. I swear there's some mornings where I wake up and Melissa and I are wearing the exact same outfit and we say, who got dressed first? But you guys watch our channel.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You do? Okay. Oh, but not you. Maybe you'll watch this episode because you're in it.
Yeah. I don't not watch it, but he watches it a lot.
Okay, well that's good.
I've probably been watching it since you took the Potter's house.
The Potter's house,
when you walked in the front door, I think that's when I started watching it.
Yeah. And we have,
and these guys were a lot smaller when I first started watching you too.
Jason has gotten big.
Yeah.
Where do you think we should put that? Maybe put it in the kitchen for now.
All right.
Somewhere on the counter if there's room. We have so much stuff that's coming. So you came on a good day, but I really just wanted to thank you for dropping in from Ontario to come see us.
Nice to meet you.
And very nice to meet you as well. So if anybody's watching at home and they want to come say hi, be like these guys and drop in. Come say hi sometime.
One of his highlights of his trip, believe it or not. This is it.
Oh, well that's...
the Chamber of Commerce in the City Hall. You got top building over the West Edmonton Plaza.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll take it. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
We discovered one problem. That door is too narrow for this machine. Jason is working on cleaning. You might have to let that soak for a bit. We're gonna clean it up while it's out here a little while.
Well, I'm just gonna do the rest of it. It's fairly clean.
I believe that this panel right here is meant to come off, because I would think that they'd be smart enough to make it so it could go through a doorway. I just have to be smart enough to figure out how that happens. So I'm gonna crawl around inside and see if I can figure out how to dismantle the front of it, which is easier said than done. Figured it out. You reach inside, undo the clips, and then you've got 3 bolts that need to come undone. All these electrical connectors were already numbered, so it's easy to put back together. But this would give me a good chance to get everything cleaned up in here because it's not looking so clean right now. So I'm gonna pull this off, get it through the door, and set it back up again inside. Arcade is in the back. Sean has been just making this old phone look like a jewel again. Does it still kind of... You know what though? It has a modern connection on it. I wonder if we plug it in if it would still work. We'll have to give that a try. Once you get it all cleaned up, I'll have to test that over. But what a cool little piece. This is a transitionary piece. And kind of unusual. I was actually pretty glad to find that today. We might hook that up in the new building. Maybe have that as the guest phone.
That's really
Wouldn't that be cool? Can I use your phone? Yeah, if you can figure out how. Okay, we're gonna go move the car to the back.
Perfect.
And we'll call it a day pretty soon here. See you, Sean.
See you guys later.
Okay, well that's it for today. But there's one last thing. Since we're here, I have to show you guys the progress that's been made inside the other space. Look at this. It's all getting drywalled. The big piles of stuff are getting off the floor. It's actually starting to look pretty darn finished, I think. So, Jason and I are gonna head back home. Jason, thank you for all your help today.
You're welcome.
And he put up with all my dad jokes and stuff. And thank you guys for watching. So stay tuned for more episodes. We'll see you all soon. And stay tuned for more updates on this too, because this has got to be built in about the next month or so. Fingers crossed that all happens. Have a wonderful day, guys. We'll see you all soon, and bye for now. Oh!